Good day to everyone, and today we will see the electrical machines questions of GATE 2017 set 1. Okay, so our first question is from the three-phase 50 hertz. Let me write the details. Three-phase 50 hertz. Okay, remember your objective is to solve problems. Star connected cylindrical rotor synchronous machine. Cylindrical rotor synchronous machine. It's operating as a motor. The machine is operated from 6.6 kV grade, means that is supply to the machine is, that is terminal voltage is 6.6 kV. Okay, and it draws a current at unity power factor UPF. Okay, so it is drawing current at unity power factor UPF. Okay, so this is very important information. Okay, the synchronous reactance of the motor is 30 ohms per phase. Okay, the load angle is 30 degree. Okay, the power delivered to the motor in kilowatt. We have to find the P. Okay, so I hope you know the general formula of P into the synchronous motor, EV by X sine delta. Okay, so that is first thing that strikes in our mind. Now the important part is that what we know in this formula. We know this delta, that is 30 degree. We know V, that is terminal voltage 6.6 kV. We know X, that is 30 ohms per phase. Okay, okay, so that is the point. Okay, if you are not able to recall these concepts, you can go to the links given below in the description. Okay, so now the main thing is that I have to find this E. Okay, so E, now I can find out using this concept. See, the synchronous motor is working at UPF. So from the expression of the synchronous motor, Q, that is reactive power of synchronous motor, that is the expression of Q in. We can get this, that UPF means that is Q in is equal to 0. So this implies that E cos delta is equal to V. Okay, so now E cos delta is equal to E. So now from here I can easily find out E. E will be V by cos delta. So it will be 6.6 kV divided by cos delta is cos 30 degrees. Okay. Okay, so don't confuse. You can easily put the line values here, that is V, and just don't solve it and let it be in kV only. Okay, so our power will automatically come out in kilowatts. I hope you know this much units manipulation. Okay, so now we have got E, so just put it in P in formula. So when I put it in P in formula, I will get E is 6.6 by cos 30 into V is 6.6 divided by X, that is 30, and yes, and it is sine delta, sine of 30 degrees. Okay, so one thing that you can get from this is, see, 6.6 square divided by 30 into tan of 30 degrees. So on solving this, what you will get? You will get 838.31 kilowatts. Okay, so the key element in this question was that you should know the meaning of this UPF, drawing current at UPF. That is the main point, because from there only you get out this. Okay, so we are done with this question. Okay, now next question. Next question is 4-pole induction machine is working as an induction generator. Okay, the generator supplies frequency is 60 hertz. Okay, it is given 4-pole induction machine is working as an induction generator. The generator supply frequency is 60 hertz. Okay, generator supply frequency, that is the stator. Okay, so generator will supply, if the induction machine is working as generator, then the and it will supply output current through its stator only. Okay, I hope you get this. So the frequency of stator we are given, that is 60 Hz. Okay, the rotor current frequency is also given to us. Okay, so that is the FR is given to us as 5 Hz. Okay. Okay, so now the mechanical speed of the rotor in RPM is asked. Okay, so the mechanical speed of the rotor in RPM is asked. Now, see, one thing I can easily found out is, yes, so it is an induction generator. Okay, let me draw it with a nice, it is an induction generator. So this implies that slip is negative. Okay, so I can easily find out slip from this relation. I hope you know this. FR is equal to SFS. Okay, so FR is 5 Hz, S is slip, and FS is 60 Hz. So what you will get, S will be 5 by 60, that is 1 by 12, and it has to be a negative. Okay, now one thing we know that we know this relation NS minus NR by NS is equal to S. So from this relation you can easily find out NR. Okay, so just put the NS you have to find out. So I hope you know how to find NS. NS is the synchronous speed, that is 120 F by P, and the frequency of the generator supply is 60 Hz. Okay, so we will use this frequency. It's a 4-pole, so it will come out to be 430 360 1800 RPM. So our NS is 1800, NR you have to find out. Your slip is minus 1 by 12, and you take this NS here, so you get 1800 here also. So on solving this expression, what you will get is 1800 1 plus 1 by 12 is equal to NR. So on solving this, you will get NR is equal to 1950. I am getting here 1950 RPM. Okay, so that is the answer. So the only important key point was that from induction generator, it should click in your mind that slip is negative, and then you can easily find out. Okay, and always remember that you find the synchronous speed by using this stator frequency. Okay, so that is a little, but I hope you get this logic. Otherwise, you can always visit the links given below in the description. Okay, so yeah, so it's done. Now let us move to the next question. Okay, let us start with this question. So it says 220 volt DC series motor drawing a current of 30 amps. Okay, it draws a current of 30 amps. So let me draw it. So for better understanding, DC series motor. Okay, so it is given that it is drawing a current of 30 amps. Next, it is given armature and field circuit resistances. So RA is given as 0.4, and the field is given to us as this one, 0.1 ohm. Okay, the flux in the motor is proportional to current. Okay, that is very much understood for DC series motor. And the load torque varies as the square of the speed. Okay, so the load torque varies as the square of the speed. It is also given to us. Okay, to reduce the speed of the motor by 50%, we have to find how much resistance we have to add. Okay, so let me say this much resistance we have to add so that the speed of the motor is reduced to 50%. Okay, so let us say that initially the speed was n1, and now the speed is n2, which is n1 by 2 according to the given relation. Now it has asked R. Okay, so one thing that came to my mind, and it is a 220 volt DC series motor. that we have to apply the KVL to find the value of this R. So to apply the KVL, we need V, we know RA, RSE. We have to calculate this R. Okay, so we have to calculate the armature current for which speed. For this speed, we have to calculate I2, that is armature current, and we have to calculate E2. Okay, so this is my objective. Okay, see, that is how we approach the problem. Okay, so let us see the problem now. Yes, so it is given as tau is directly proportional to n square. Okay, so I can find one thing here from here. See, I always write these two relations for any DC series motor, that is K phi n and torque is equal to K phi I. So, and in the case of DC series motor, these equations reduce to E is equal to K I n, as phi is directly proportional to I, and your T is equal to K I square. Okay, so these are the two equations, and this all is the data that we have to use to calculate these two values. These two values we have to find out. Okay. Okay, one thing is also coming to my mind, that I should calculate E1 also. Okay, so it is given to me 220 volts is equal to E plus E1, that is current is 30, RA plus RSE 0.4 plus 0.1. Okay, initially, so E1 will come out to be 205 volts. Okay, so this is one value that I have got. Okay, so now from using this, tau 1 by tau 2 is equal to n1 square by n2 square, which is equal to n1 square divided by n2 is n1 by 2. Okay, so tau 1 by tau 2 comes out to be equal to 4. Now from this relation, I can easily calculate I2 also. Okay, so that is my objective. So put this tau 1 by tau 2 is equal to K, let us leave the K because it will cancel out, and I1 square by I2 square. So it comes out to be I1 square is 30 square, I2 square is equal to tau 1 by tau 2 is 4. So from here I get this expression of I2, that is 30 by 2. Yes, 30 by 2. 30 by 2 amps is my I2. So I have found out I2 also. Now I have to find out this E2. So what I was having, I2 I have, E1 I have to find E2. Okay, see, E2 I can easily find out using this relation. Which relation? This relation. Okay, so let me write it down. E is equal to KIN. So I can easily write it down. E1 by E2 is equal to I1 by I2 into N1 by N2. Okay, so yes, so E1 you know 205 volts, E2 you have to find out, I1 you know 30 amps, I2 you have calculated, that is 30 by 2, and what else you have got? Okay, you have got N1 and your N2 is N1 by 2. So you have got E2 as 205 divided by 4. That will come out to be 4 5 20, 51.25 volts. Okay, so that is your what? That is your E2. Now I told you, you have to find what? You have to find this R. You have to find this R. Okay, so this is your objective. So let us find it out by applying the KVL. So when you apply the KVL, what you get? 220 volts is equal to what? Your E2 plus I2 into RA plus R SE plus your R that is to be added. Okay, so 220 is equal to E2 is 51.25, I2 is 30 by 2, that is 15, RA is 0.4, RSE is 0.1. It is a DC series motor. Okay, so yes, plus R. So from here you can calculate the value of R. R will come out to be 10.75 ohms. Okay, so this is the answer of this question. Okay, so answer is 10.75 ohms. Okay, now we will see the next question. GATE 2017 set 1. Okay, so now separately excited DC generator. Okay, it is now given separately excited DC generator. Separately excited, one thing clicks to my mind, that flux is constant. Okay, it is, let me draw the generator. Okay, yeah, yes, one supplies 150 amps, supplies 150 amps to 145 volt DC grid. Okay, so that means the terminal voltage is 145 volts. The generator is running at 800 rpm. Generator is running at 800 rpm. Okay, the armature resistance is 0.1 ohms. Armature resistance is 0.1 ohms. Okay, the speed of the generator, if the speed of the generator is increased to 1000 rpm, if this speed is increased to 1000 rpm, okay, the current in amperes supplied by the generator to the DC grid. So I have to find this I2. Let me say this is N2, and let me say this was I1, and this was N1. Okay, so what he is asking is, I have to get this I2. Okay, and I have given two speeds. Okay, flux is constant, so always write these two equations for any DC machine and you will get the ideas. Torque is equal to K phi I. Okay, so now what can I do? Okay, so I can easily find out E. Okay, flux is constant, so that means E is directly proportional to N. So yeah, E directly proportional to N, so I can easily find out E1 by E2 is equal to N1 by N2. E1 I don't know, but I can calculate. So to calculate E1, I can easily apply the KVL. See, this is a generator. Okay, so the equation will be E is equal to V plus IA RA. E I have to find out E1. V is 145. IA is 150. RA is 0.1. Okay, so what I will get? I will get E1 as what I have got, 160 volts. E1 is equal to 160 volts. Okay, so I can easily calculate now E2. E2 will be N2 by N1 into E1. N2 by N1 is, N2 is 1000, N1 is 800, E1 is 160. So your E2 comes out to be what? 200 volts. Okay. Now it is asked to find the current in amperes. Okay. So again apply the KVL. So what will be KVL? E2 is equal to, see, the grid voltage will remain 145 volts only. Okay, 145 volts plus I2 I have to find out. RA will remain same. E2 I know 200. So on putting the values, what you will get? You will get I2 as 550 amperes as I have got. Okay, so this is the answer. 550 amps. Okay, so that is how you approach. See, in DC machine question, just if you're not getting anything, just write down these two equations and draw circuit diagram, and then you will get something. Okay, so now next question is GATE 2017 set 1, and let us tackle this question. Okay, so it is given 375 volts to 30 volts 50 hertz capacitor start single phase induction motor. Okay, so these are special kind of motors, and you should go to the links in the description if you are not aware of the some basic concepts. So there are two windings usually in capacitor start motor to have the phase difference of 90 degrees. One is main, one is auxiliary. So he has given the impedances of main winding and the impedances of the auxiliary winding. Now neglecting the magnetizing branch, okay, we have to find out what? We have to find out capacitance added in series in the auxiliary winding to obtain maximum torque. Okay, so this time it is asking the condition of maximum torque at starting. Okay, so this is just a simple direct formula, or else you might be remembering this equation: phi m plus 2 phi a is equal to 90 degrees is the condition for the maximum torque at starting. Okay, okay, from this formula only we derived this one also, and I recommend that you should remember this, because there are two formulas of this kind. That is, one is this: xc is equal to xa plus rm into ra divided by xm plus zm. Okay, so why I am writing in this fashion, this formula? Because see, this formula you remember for two ways. Okay, one is that, see, if Zm is not there, then this is the formula to get the quadrature, that is the 90-degree difference, phase difference between the auxiliary winding and the main winding. So what capacitor value you should add to calculate capacitance value for those questions? You just remove Zm from this formula, and for the maximum torque at starting, you remember this formula, that is, here the Zm is included. And what is Zm? Zm is under root simple rm square plus xm square. So this is a simple formula based question. Now the values are given to you. See, Rm, I will write the values and then you can easily apply the formula and solve. Okay, so Rm is given to us as 12.50, Xm is given to us as 15.75. Okay, Ra is given to us as 24.50 and Xa is given to us as 12.75. Okay, now Zm you can easily calculate as Rm square. What is Rm square? 12.50 square plus 15.75 square. Okay, yeah, and what you will get? Zm value I have written out 35.85. Okay, so on putting this, you will find out Xc as 21.29. Okay, see, now this is Xc, but in the question it is asked capacitance. Okay, so don't do this silly mistake. So Xc is 1 upon 2 pi Fc. From here you can easily find out C, that is 21.29. Okay, let me write out in this fashion. C will be equal to what? 1 upon 2 pi into 50 hertz given into 21.29. So your C value will come out to be 149.49 microfarad. So the answer to this question is 149.49 microfarad. Okay, GATE 2017 set 1, and we will see now this question. It's given two parallel connected. Okay, three phase. Okay, two parallel connected. Okay, so just draw a rough diagram so it will give you a good idea. Okay, because in parallel connection we have this topic only. Let me say it is as E1, E2, let us say x1, x2. Okay, 3-phase 50 hertz 11 kV. Okay, so these are 11 kV. Star connected synchronous machines A and B. Okay, so let me write it down. A and B. They together supply 50 MVAr to 11 kV grid. Okay, so this is a 11 kV grid that they are supplying to. 50 MVAr they are supplying. So Q MVAr 50 MVAr they are both are supplying. Current supplied by both the machines are equal. Okay, so let me mark it down as I1 as I2, and it's given that I1 is equal to I2. Okay, these are phasors only. Okay, synchronous reactance of machine A, that is, okay, let me write it down as A P. Okay, so XA is what, 1 ohms. Okay, and XB is 3 ohms, assuming the magnetic circuit to be linear. Okay, the ratio of excitation current of machine A to that of machine B. Okay, see, I hope you know that this EA or either this EB is also known as excitation voltage. Okay, and it's given that the magnetic circuit to be linear, we have to find the excitation current. Okay, machine A to machine B. So what this statement means that, let me write down here, that is E directly proportional to the I excitation, that is I will denote it by I field. So E A by EB is equal to IA by IB. And in this question I have to find out this ratio IA by IB. This I have to find out. Okay, so this is the question. Okay, so now let us get back to the question. How can we solve it? This we have to find out. Okay, so somehow I have to find out EA and EB. Okay, so one thing I got, that I have to find out EA and EB. Okay, so now how can I find out EA and EB? Okay, so first let me read again. Okay, so this is given as synchronous condensers. Okay, so this is a very important part. Okay, synchronous condenser means that these motors are purely dealing with reactive power, that is they are supplying reactive power. Okay, synchronous condenser means that the motors are acting as a capacitor. So one thing is clear to me, that the P is 0 here, so I can easily find out this grid current. Okay, this current I can easily find it out using this relation of Q and this 11 kV. So I think your Q will be equal to √3 into VL IL, or in a better way I should say that your Q is equal to S only, because P is 0. Okay, and S is √3 into VL into IL. Okay, I hope you know this relation. Okay, so as P is 0, so implies S is equal to Q. Okay, so from here I can find out this IL. It will come out to be 50 divided by √3 into 11 into 10 to the power 6 into 10 to the power 3, and this will come out to us as IL will come out to be 2.624 kiloamps. 2.624 kiloamps. Okay, so one thing I have found out, now I know that I1 is equal to I2. So we are dealing with magnitudes only, so your I1 and I2 will be same and will be equal to half of IL. So 2.624 divided by 2 will come out to be 1.312 kiloamps. Okay, so now you have got these things. Okay, so now the important thing is you have to calculate EA and EB. Okay, so I think you can apply KVL in these loops. and you can find out EA and EB. Okay, so let me, and always remember this is a per phase circuit. This is a per phase circuit. Okay, so now let us apply the KVL in this fashion. Okay, for EA. So now EA is equal to I1 XA plus 11 kV. Okay, uh, and we have to write it down in phase per phase basis. So I1 is 1.312. It is a star connected. By default we assume star connected, so I phase I line is same. And yes, so now there will be angles. Okay, so now these were the magnitudes, but we have to put the angles. So now important thing is, see, the motors are behaving as a condenser. That means they are acting as a capacitor. So capacitor always, it's a leading power factor load. Okay, so I hope you understand that if I write I1 in angle forms, then the current will be written as, let me write it here, 1.312 at an angle 90 degrees. Okay, into XA is 1 plus 11 by root 3. X is 1, that has to be written as J1. Okay, so your EA will come out to be what? Your EA will come out to be some value. Okay, and similarly you will calculate out EB. It will be I2 into XP. This I1 is same as IA, is same as IP. Okay, so I2 into XB plus 11 by root 3. I2 again you will take it as leading power factor load into XB is J3 plus 11 by root 3. Okay, so your whatever values you will get, okay, so you just have to divide them, and on solving those you will get EA by EB as 0.745. Okay, so that is your answer. So this is same as 0.745. You can write it down as 0.745. Okay, so that is the answer. So the key point here is, see this thing. So if you're not getting it, then you can always visit the links in the description. So I hope, see, okay, I will give you just a brief idea here. See, it's a capacitor load. Okay, so capacitor, how we write the impedance for capacitor? We write impedance for capacitor as minus jx. Okay, I hope you get this. Now if you find the current, let us say there was some voltage source and you divide it by the impedance. So on solving this expression, what you will get? V at an angle 90 degrees, V by XC. Okay, so I hope you get the idea why I have taken 90 degrees here. Okay, so this is the concept. Okay, so this you should know. This is basic electrical, and if you're confused about among these things, then you should visit Network Theory Diary on this channel, and you will get many things. Okay, so that is very crucial. Okay, so now this question is over, and I hope you get it. Okay, and you can always visit the links in the description. Now let us move to the next question. Okay, and yeah, one thing I should also like to, if you are confused, then why I'm not taking it, so just assume it at an angle 0. Okay, if it's not given, you can assume it at an angle 0. Okay, so I hope now this question is very much clear. Again, GATE 2017, set 1. A three-phase, three winding. Okay. Yes. Okay. A three-phase, three winding. Delta Y. What are the values given? 1.1, 6.6 kV, and star is 400 volts. Energized from AC mains. Okay, so the AC supply is given to this side. It supplies 900 kVA load, pointed power factor from 6.6 kV. So from here, it is supplying the load of 900 kVA, pointed power factor, lag. Okay, and from here, it is supplying the load of 300 kVA, 0.6 power factor, lag. Okay, so this is the scenario given to me. Now I have to find out the RMS line current in amperes drawn by the 1.1 kV winding. Okay, so I have to find the current IL in this. Okay, RMS line to line current. Okay, so this is the question. Okay, so not a big deal, we can tackle this. Okay, so this is the question given to us. So now yeah, what you can do. Okay, see. Okay, we have to work on this side. Okay, so here for this side, for delta, for 1.1 kV delta side, VL is 1.1 kV. Okay. Okay, so for the transformer, the power. Okay, we can do it like this. Okay, so I have to find out the IL thing. Okay, so now the power drawn by the transformer from the primary side, that is this delta side, that is the power drawn from the AC source, can be written as power drawn from AC source, can be written as root 3 VL IL. Okay, here I know root 3 and VL. Okay, so the power, now this is an by default ideal transformer, so that the power drawn from the AC source will be the total sum of power required by these loads. Okay, so if I calculate the total S of these loads, then I can equate it equal to this, and then I can find out IL equal to the power taken by loads. Okay, so that is one logic that I am having. Okay, so there can be other methods, but they will be lengthy. Okay, so now let us find out for 6.6 kV delta winding. The load is 900 kVA, pointed power factor, lag. Okay, so your S, let me denote it by this load by S1, and let me denote this load by S2. Okay, and if I rub this and I calculate S1, so S1 will be what, 900 is the magnitude at an angle of pointed power factor lag. Okay, so what you will get, lagging is Q greater than 0. Yes, so P plus JQ, so your angle will be positive only. So 900 at an angle, cos inverse of 0.8 is 36.86. Okay, kVA, and your S2 I can calculate 300 at an angle. 0.6 is cos inverse of 0.6 is it's 53.13. okay, kVA. So if you can S1 plus S2, if you add them, see now to add these values, in GATE you won't be having calculator, so you just convert these values to A plus JB form, that is Cartesian coordinate form, and then you can add these and then again convert to uh, this angular form. So your S will be equal to S1 phasor plus S2 phasor. Okay, so it will come out to be 1190.95. I am directly writing 40.9. okay, so now you can equate this to root 3 VL. So your IL will come out to be 1190.95 0.95 at an angle 40.9 divided by root 3 into VL. VL is 1.1 kV, that is into 10 to the power 3. okay, or I don't think you need this. okay, root 3 into 1.1. so on solving this, you will get your VL as 625.1. okay, sorry, your IL will be 625.1 amps, RMS values. okay, so this is all for the questions of GATE 2017 set 1, and I think they were pretty good and nice questions with a lot of calculations. So practice them, and with practice they will click to you. okay, so okay, thank you guys. Please like, share, subscribe Electrical Diaries, and visit electricaldiaries.in for many things, and please visit links in the description if you are having problems in the concepts. Thank you.